Masculinity is toxic. This is the bullshit narrative that has been forced down our throats over the last few years. But there's some truth to it. However, the accurate way to say it, in my opinion, would be that men that lack values, vision, and purpose do toxic things. And I don't think that that's necessarily only true for men. I think that might be true for women as well, but I'm a man, so I'm speaking for myself. I used to be a man who did not have values, did not know what he wanted life to look like and who he wanted to be, and didn't have a purpose to pursue. And without values to guide my decisions, and without a clear vision for my life and who I wanted to be, and without that thing to pursue, I would feel it created this void inside of me. It literally felt like I was empty. You've probably heard people say that, maybe specifically men say that. I just feel this emptiness inside. And I actually had somebody call me this morning and tell me just that, because he's been reading along with some of the things that I've been posting on Facebook and social media. He's like, dude, like, I feel like I'm in the place where you used to be, and you're in a place now where I want to be. And it really comes down to those three things. Those three things, I believe, are what men need in order to be good men. Because again, so let me talk about values first. My values, those guide my decision making. When you don't know what you value most out of life, you don't take a second to think, hey, how is this decision like going to increase the amount of those things that I have, or how is this decision going to decrease the amount of those things that I have? So for me, my values are creativity, simplicity, fun, and presence. Now I review my decisions through those. So if it's saying yes to a job, or it's saying yes to going to a party, or spending money, whatever it is, how does this thing align with those? If I say yes to this, is it going to increase the amount of time I have for creativity? Is it going to make my life more simple? Is it going to increase the amount of fun I'm having? And is it going to allow me to be more present? If the answer to those questions is no, then I'm going to say no to that decision. And even if it's something big, I use this analogy. So if somebody came to me and were like, hey, I got this job offer for you. You make $500,000 a year, which is a significant amount of money, a whole lot more money than I make currently. But you're going to have to work 80 hours a week, and you're going to have to travel. You're going to be away from home for a week out of the month. No, that's a no. That doesn't sound simple to me. It sounds like I'm not going to have my own time for creative work, and I'm going to be too exhausted to do that. It doesn't sound fun. And I'm definitely not going to be very present with my family and in my personal life if I'm working 80 hours a week and I'm traveling one week out of the month. So that's an easy no. But without that, those being aware of those four things, I may say yes to that because it is a significant amount of money, and I wouldn't have those principles to guide me. The other thing is, when you're doing something, again, like, I'll get back to that, but I'll get back to the emptiness inside. Then the vision, right? So I used to lack that. I would literally close my eyes or have these conversations with people and be like, I can't see a future. I truly, I don't know what I want out of life. I don't know who I want to be. I don't know what I want my life to look like in the future. I would close my eyes. I would try to think about it, and it was nothing. And it was so frustrating. And that was a huge reason why this void existed. And then the lack of values, I think, made the void worse, because everything I would fuck up, everything I would do or every time I would do something really stupid, like go out there and get blackout drunk and drive home, or cheat, or whatever that toxic behavior was, it would make the void deeper and deeper and deeper. And I was just digging this hole. So without the values, without the vision to fill the hole, which purpose helps fill that hole as well, and without the values to guide my decision making, I was making it even worse. So it's kind of this like vicious cycle that existed. So finding the values was first, because I had tried to fake a vision. I had tried to write a vision for my life, but without knowing my values, I couldn't create my own vision. I couldn't determine what I wanted. I couldn't determine who I wanted to be. I was simply putting words on a piece of paper that I thought looked successful to other people. It was a bunch of investment properties and cars and what else did I have on there originally? I don't even remember because it was so it lacked any sort of connection internally with me, any sort of emotional connection. I don't even remember what it was. And I had hand wrote it, and then I had also created a vision board for it, but it just didn't connect because, again, I didn't know what I valued. Well, the reason it didn't connect was because internally I had valued simplicity, creativity, fun, and presence. I just wasn't aware of it when I wrote my vision. So there wasn't enough of those four things in my vision and on my vision board. Now my vision board and my vision are totally different than the first time I wrote it because I'm very clear. I want simplicity in my life. I want a lot of time for creativity. I want my profession to be built around creativity. I want presence. I want to be having fun. I want to be home on my property. I don't want to be traveling all the time. Plus, I hate flying. So that definitely travel, it's in there, but I've forced myself to fly. So the vision came next. And then there was still this sense of frustration. Now I at least had a better understanding of how to make good decisions. I knew what I wanted out of my life, but there was still some emptiness, still some frustration because I didn't know how to go from where I am now to that vision, because that's where purpose comes in. That's that thing that you get up every morning for and pursue. And the way that I define purpose is that unique thing that only I feel that I can do so well. So like my purpose is to structure words in a manner that inspires others to take action. That's copywriting. There's a million other copywriters in the world, probably more than that. But only I can do it the way that I do it. Only I can put those words together that specific way. Only I have that specific brand voice. Only I can represent those specific clients better than anybody else. So even though that ability isn't unique, I make it unique because it is my own. That is what drives me every single day now. Since I've really came to the conclusion that that is my purpose, I get out of bed excited. I go to sleep excited. I can't stop thinking about writing because it is uniquely and authentically me. It is that thing that I was put on this planet to do. That's what purpose means. Now, copywriting and how I structure those words, or what media I use to put them together, that would be my vocation. So being a copywriter would be a vocation. And then within being a copywriter, I might do email marketing. I might do sales websites. I might do video ad scripting. There's so many different ways to do that. Or I can write short stories. I don't have to be a copywriter. I can be a short story writer. I can write novels. I can write biographies. There are so many different ways that writing and structuring words in a manner that inspires people can actually manifest in a vocation. I think a lot of us get that confused. A vocation isn't your purpose. Like being a welder isn't your purpose. Your purpose may be creating things through welding or building things that add value to other people. How that manifests might be welding, might be carpentry, it might be masonry. There are different ways that that purpose can manifest through a vocation. So keep that in mind when you're thinking of these things. But man, if you're, and I'll talk more about how I determine these things in some other videos, but one thing to keep in mind is it's a process. None of this shit happened overnight. I started reading personal development books in 2018. It is about to be 2025, and I'm still working on this daily, and it is still all coming together, and it evolves over time. My values have evolved. My vision hasn't so much, and my purpose I don't think will either, but my values definitely have. And it's really hard to do all of this as well when you're surrounded with the wrong people. If you want to get this shit figured out, you gotta surround yourself, or at least I did. I had to surround myself with other people that were working on these things, that either knew what their values, vision, and purpose were, or they were on the path to finding it, or they were just starting out. But having those people around there to hold you accountable and to give you other perspective and to have really good conversations with is key. So I'll talk more about how I figured all of this out here in the future, but thank you all for tuning in. And if there's anything you want me to speak about more, let me know.